Hey, folks. Good to see you. Right, let's get everything ready. Apologies for starting like a minute late. Right. I'm using this new Restream.io software, so I have no idea who's watching. All I have is a number. And that number across the board, YouTube and all the Facebooks, is 25. So, hey. Hey, Wagwan, Tom Grange. Good to see you, mate. Is it Seamos or Seamus? So sorry. Seamos or Seamus, I'm not sure. I've seen both in the past, so I apologise if I've pronounced it wrong. But hey. Gary, I know, Gary, normally I am on time. But yeah, Ellie asked me to cut the lawn. We got this birthday party and the lawn was a bit messy. She was like, you need to cut it before it rains. So yeah. Hey, Craig. We have someone called Facebook user Samantha. Hey, Sam. Chris, Stuart, Ian. Hey. Sweet. Okay, let's get going. There's 42 of us. Nice. Right. Sean. Okay, sorry. Sean. So interesting. Wow. Didn't expect that. Yeah, you can't cut wet grass with a ride-on lawnmower because it all gets clogged up. And so I spend endlessly like getting my bloody 56-degree wedge, like unjamming it, which is, yeah. Hokey cokey. Let's crack on. Apologies for being a couple of minutes late. I normally do start on the dot, on the hour. So I have no agenda for today. Today is more of a ask me anything, get my 2 cents or my Doge's worth of whatever. Obviously, I am not the be-all and end-all. I don't know everything. I'm just a simple Norwich bloke. Sorry. In time we trust. I don't know. Right, so I know there are a lot of quick crypto questions on your mind. I just wanted to make one little statement. It's not really a statement. I'm just every now and then I put up some Facebook posts, mainly because I use Facebook as a social observatory. Yeah, I guess it's like a social observatory. It's a bit like going to the human zoo and seeing what inmates there are. And I'm absolutely fascinated with people's reactions to things. And I guess I find it very ironic that we supposedly live in a world or a country which really cherishes free speech, yet at the moment we question or even dare question the official narrative of something, you're immediately labeled as a conspiracy theorist. And I just find it slightly sad, also amusing. But I mean, like, what is science at the end of the day? Science is, you unwaveringly question and probe a topic until all unknowns and untruths are fathomed out, etc. And yeah, so yeah, this is all about I guess one of my controversial Facebook statuses out there. And so yeah, I just think in all parts of life, you just have to question the shit out of it all, like everything. Like that's all I do. I just question stuff. Logic is my mantra. And I mean, hell, if we didn't question stuff, we'd still be doing all sorts of crazy stuff. We'd still be using talcum powder for health, for Pete's sake. And I mean, hell, if we didn't question the financial system, the public wouldn't have a clue what's going on about stuff. So yeah, Craig, I'm with you. I've had a little rummage through your Facebook profile. A lot of respect for what you're doing there, mate. I completely agree. So right, let's get on with the questions. I know. Okay, let's start from the top. So Ian, he's first off the bat. Question: when borrowing money to invest in crypto, how are you pricing risk? Can you elaborate on that, mate? When you say how am I pricing risk, there's a couple of ways. Yeah, can you elaborate? Yeah, just elaborate on the what you mean by pricing risk, because myself, I'm always judging risk by a seesaw. Obviously, you got risk on one hand, reward on the other, and then you always have a look at the worst case scenario. Okay, let's say you borrow money to plow into crypto, and let's say on the first hurdle you screw up because you send everything to the wrong address, or you just lose it, or you get hacked, or whatever. You then have to weigh up. Okay, I've massively shit the bed here. Is this going to bury you? So you should never enter a move or an action which will bury you for good. I think there was a great saying a long time ago that you should never take a risk from which you can't. Oh, I can't remember. I'm going to bastardize the whole saying. But yeah, never enter any engagement or action where if it's going to bury you for a long time, don't do it. And when I mean bury, like absolutely wiped out. So yeah, that's just one of the things. Like for example, I've got 100% of my liquid net worth in crypto right now. 100%. Now I know this confuses a lot of people because in my book, the crypto book, this bad boy, I wrote this in 2017, and I know it says here 2018 when you look into it, but that was because the publisher took ages to get it out there. And by the way, if you get this, if you want to read this, it's better. First of all, don't read it. Audible is better because the publisher put me in a booth for best part of a week and made me just do it. And I sort of went off on one every now and then. So there's more content in the audiobook than the actual book. And if you buy the book, audio or whatever, John Murray and Hodder, or the publisher, thanks you. I get 50p per sale. So yeah, if you get my audiobook or this, I get 50p. And I even questioned them. And I was like, so if someone gets the audiobook, there's literally nothing to print. How do I still get 50p? Yeah, anyway, I got a shit deal. However, it's out there. It's in Waterstones and all that sort of stuff. And so in that book, I basically said crypto is really risky at the moment. It's volatile, and you should only put 10% of your net of your net worth into it. But the market has evolved quite a lot, and so I'm always going on about volatility and risk. They're not the same thing. Crypto is still volatile, hell yeah, and that's one of the reasons I love it. But it's not risky anymore. Well, a lot of shitcoins are risky. Bitcoin, Ethereum, the blue chip cryptos, they're de-risked. There is no risk anymore. So, and obviously I'm playing the long game with this. I genuinely see at least $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year, probably most likely 150K. And then I see $1 million Bitcoin by 2026. Yeah, like when you look at everything, when you look at the stock to flow model, you look at the logarithmic regression band model, you look at the hash rate, you look at the rate of new users and new active wallets, you look at the rate of capital and inflows into crypto, you look at the amount of ETFs and ETNs that are trying to sprout up. Don't forget, if you're setting up an ETF, you need a shitload of the underlying asset in order to create an ETF. If you look at the amount of corporates in the world right now, so if you take I think off the top of my head, the last time I checked, there's something like 32 major companies across the whole globe that have allocated some of their strategic reserves into crypto. 32 on the whole planet. There's only 32 major companies that have basically dabbled with crypto. Tesla, MicroStrategies, etc., etc. Now, that's going to explode. It's absolutely going to explode. And yeah, so like I could go on and on and on and on and on about why I think crypto is going to go up. But this is genuinely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And if, like in my boots, I know a lot of people think I'm a bit weird going effectively all in on crypto, but this is no different to getting into Amazon or Apple back in 2002 after they had their big old tumble down, and then getting in with a bargain. And when you look at billionaires buy and never sell, pretty much. If you like, that's how they get rich. They buy and never sell. every billionaire you can think of, most of the time, their net worth is based on their business stock, and all they have is stock. And if they ever need capital, they simply borrow off of it. And when crypto sails beyond $10 trillion market cap, it all of a sudden becomes a global asset. And a global asset which all pension funds, hedge funds, sovereign wealth funds, family offices will, by their very mandates, have to start having an allocation to crypto, whether they like it or not, simply because of their mandate. So, so if you're like me and you see that crypto is with an extremely high certainty and probability going to hit $1 million Bitcoin, why the hell wouldn't you try to fill your boots right now at $36,000 or whatever the hell it is? It's a freaking fire sale. Now, obviously, I don't buy Bitcoin. Never have bought Bitcoin. I buy other stuff because Bitcoin's slow. It's averaged out 200% CAGR for the last 10 years, but it's an oil tanker now compared to some other movers. So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's where I come into risk. So my point of view, I see zero risk really borrowing fiat currencies to then plow into crypto. It is the hardest money on the planet. It's the hardest money out there. So if you look at gold has always been money for a long time, and it's got some form of value because of its supply. Its supply is limited. Supply grows roughly 1.8% per year, and it has done for thousands of years. And that's also in line with human population growth. So as humans get bigger or grow as a species, gold also grows at pretty much the same cadence. That's why an ounce of gold will buy you the same shit back in the Roman times, and it's the same stuff right now. So, but I don't think gold will be a finite supply for a long time. We're now seeing the emergence of the space race. Now, with the space race, we're seeing a ridiculous innovation. Cheers to Elon, and like he's leading the pack by a country mile. I mean, everyone's like going, "Well, Virgin Galactic's just done its space flight." When you look at the apogee of Virgin Galactic, they don't even get into space. They're not even orbital yet. But Elon, sorry, I was going to say Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, he's not even in orbit yet. But give it a few years, give it 10 years, everyone's going to be in orbit. Everyone's going to be able to get into orbit, in this space. And we're going to, asteroid mining is going to be a real thing. And there are little asteroids out there, even a mile in diameter that has more gold than the whole of Earth completely. So, what do you think will happen to the gold supply or the silver supply when Elon finds just simply goes to the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter? There's unforetold amounts of minerals and metals in the asteroid belt. And you just need to pluck one out of it. Just one. Just pluck one out of there. One little tiny mile-wide asteroid out of that belt and sort of drag it back to Earth. That'll have more minerals and metals than, gold could be worthless overnight if that happens. And so, although I've been a massive gold and silver fan for the last 12 years or so, I do see the end for gold over the next 50 years or so. It'll be a slow death. Very slow death. But when you look at Bitcoin, no amount of innovation, no amount of space innovation, tech innovation, quantum mechanic innovation, nothing will change the supply and the Bitcoin's distribution. Nothing. It is finite. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Ever. And we'll never see that in our lifetime. The last one being minted mined in the year 2140. So it is the most finite, hard money out there. And when you're looking at all of the currency supplies in the world, they're being inflated away. The US and the UK are growing M2 by about 25% a year. It's nuts. So the biggest positive driver for crypto on the whole planet is something which which seems counterintuitive. It's the Federal freaking Reserve and all the central banks. In fact, the central banking cartel. That is the biggest propeller of crypto out of everything. We know for a fact that all central banks are going to keep on printing because they've backed themselves in the corner. They cannot stop printing. So that's only going to filter down into assets, and it's just going to push up crypto. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if by 2030 we see $10 million Bitcoin. Won't be surprised at all. But the real purchasing power of Bitcoin will be akin to $1 million Bitcoin because of the currency supply. Like Biden is looking to print, do a $6 trillion stimulus package. It's insane. Let's just look at this in perspective. I'm going to share my screen now. Share this screen. This is where we get the wee going into infinity. Let's go to USM2 money supply, and I just want you to see in perspective what $6 trillion looks like. So everyone looks at M2, which is not the broadest money supply. M3 really is, but everyone looks at M2. So let's just look at M2. So if you just go back to, in fact, how long did it take to put $6 trillion on the planet? So in fact, when did the US officially start? Probably 220 years ago. When was the United States born? 1776. Where's my calculator? Here we go. So where's this going? So roughly, 2003. Okay. So 2003 minus 1776. Right. I wasn't too far off. I said 220 years. So it took 227 years to put $6 trillion on the planet. $6 trillion, okay? 227 years. How long did it take to then put the next $6 trillion? Okay, so from 6 to then 12, so 2003 to 2015. It took 12 years. So let's get a little doodle out here. Come on, Microsoft Whiteboard. What am I doing here? This is business stuff, random. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's draw a big line. Whee! Okay, so it took 227 years to put $6 trillion into existence. So from 1776 to 2003. It then took 12 years. Obviously, this is not to scale. 12 years to then go to 2015, I believe. Sorry. So $12 trillion, that gets to 2015. And then how long did it take to get to the next $6 trillion? So that is 2020. So let's draw this out again. So 2020. So that's basically 5 years to get another $6 trillion. And now Biden is looking to literally do a $6 trillion stim package. So it's going to be in the space of, in fact, let's just get my facts right here. Biden 6 trillion. Let's just type that in. Is here, but when it is in spending for 2022. Okay, fair enough. So you then have $6 trillion. So the next step is 2022. So 2 years. This is what I've been saying for years. What people don't realize is the cadence of printing. You cannot backtrack. Just look at this. This is just the United States, and it'll be the same. Just look at Japan; it will be worse. But 227 years for the first 6 trillion, 12 years for the next 6 trillion, 5 years for the next 6 trillion, 2 years for the next 6 trillion. I promise you, 2023, it'll be another 6 trillion. Or hell, even if it stays, okay, let's just say every 2 years they just pump out 2 trillion. It'll be worse than this, by the way, because it's like being a heroin addict. Once you get used to it, you then just have to keep on getting the next hit, but bigger and bigger. A bit like being an adrenaline junkie. I used to be an adrenaline junkie, and I've done some crazy ass shit in my life, which I'll never do again. But I was just always seeking that next hit, that next adrenaline spike. So let's just say 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. So 22, 4, 6, 8, 30. Right. So here's 2030 over here. So 6, 12, 18, 24. That's another $24 trillion on top of where we are right now. So if you were to add, these are rough figures, obviously. So 24 trillion adding to the 20 trillion that we're on right now. So by 2040, we're looking at something ridiculous like $42 trillion. And I'm being very generous. I think it's going to be bigger stim packages in a shorter period of time. So $42 trillion, like that's at least, so a doubling of the US currency supply from where we are now. And every other currency on the planet is going to do exactly the same thing. So asset prices are just going to be pushed up. Stocks will go up. I'm expecting a bit of a dip, but I think stocks will go up. Property will go up. Anything with a finite supply will go up. Fine art, fine wine, precious commodities. So, like beachfront, Hamptons, Florida, London, all of the prestige property, that's going to go up because it's finite, obviously. What else? Yeah, and Bitcoin. That's my big old point here. Bitcoin will be forced up simply because of the currency printing. This is the biggest no-brainer I've ever seen in my life, folks. And I'm a student of money. I've studied the history of money. I'm a historian of money. I've never seen anything like a surefire bet like this. It's just insane. So, right, let's get off my crypto high horse here. And that was literally all of that. Bloody hell, the last 20 minutes all about Ian's first question, which, yeah, okay, let's scroll down the questions here. There's 90 of us here today. Thanks, folks. Gary Martin, ride on, show off here. I've just bought a robot, actually, a robot mower. So I'm not sure how effective it will be. We have the world's most complex lawn, and we'll see how it goes. I'll make some videos. Facebook user has said, you hinted that you wouldn't be buying Bitcoin or Ether in the recent dip, but other altcoins which have more short-term potential when the market takes off. Could you elaborate? And also, could you talk a little bit about a simple exit strategy when we're nearing the end of the bull run? Thank you. Okay, there's a couple of questions there. So yeah, I never buy Bitcoin simply because it's an oil tanker now. I have a thing called the Kryptonian portfolio. So literally, if you go to share screen, YouTube, find my crypto playlist. So just go to Siam Kid on YouTube, click my face, playlists, and then there is where is it? There's a crypto playlist here, and this is going out tonight on BBC One. And all my recent crypto videos at the bottom of this playlist. But if you scroll, Siam's Kryptonian portfolio, my entire crypto holdings. I made that a while ago. My portfolio hasn't really changed much, but I basically own everything. I am my own tracker fund, basically. But the ones I've really sort of focused on, the ones I've sort of doubled down on are the smart contract platform race, because there's a race to take out Ether. So we've got Polkadot and Cardano, Solana. They're the main three. They're the main three contenders. You can't really count Binance Smart Chain in this. But yeah, so I've gone a bit heavier on Polkadot, Binance, and Cardano and Solana. So just a quick one. If you look at, Polkadot versus Ether, for example. So DOT versus Ether. And you just zone out to the daily chart. Look how undervalued Polkadot is against Ether. It's ridiculous. Look how undervalued Polkadot is against Bitcoin. Okay, this chart only goes back a little bit. Let's find a different chart that has more data. Probably Bittrex will have a longer data. It still only goes back. Mind you, Polkadot hasn't been long around for that much. So yeah, makes sense. So yeah, against Ether, it's just massively undervalued. So yeah, that's one of the reasons. In terms of an exit strategy, so according to Dr. Flo, Bitcoin always peaks in December. Like the last three bull cycles, it's peaked in December. So my eyes are on December for Bitcoin having a bit of a peak. Alts then peak in January. So what I'll probably do is, if we see a peaking of Bitcoin in December, I'll then be very tentative moving into January, and I may actually do a bit of a sidestep. So I may sidestep that. The problem is that'll incur. I'm expecting big profits, so that'll then incur a bit of a big old tax event. So I may do that. I may not. I think probably what I may end up doing is just hodling. I think that's the safest thing. For me, it's a way up of doing a sidestep to potentially get back in at lower rates, which will be good. But if I do that, I then crystallize a whole shit ton of profits. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think the safest thing is just to hodl. Remember, looking at stock to flow, 2026 is where we're seeing, $1 million Bitcoin. So you just got to hodl till then. Tara, so what are your thoughts on what's happening next in crypto? Up, basically. So if we just look at Bitcoin, because it is basically the whole market. We've basically hit the base trend line. We've punched through it a few times. So everything I said that would happen in the short term has come true. So when we were around $38,000, $39,000, I was calling, first of all, I called $34,000, like high certainty. It hit. And then when we hit 34, which was back here, this little bit here. In fact, let's get to the 4-hour chart, have a bit more resolution of what was going on. So when we're up here, I said, everyone got carried away that, oh, look, it's inverted head and shoulders. We're going to see the moon again. But I said, no, we hit 34 and we smashed down to 34 on the dot. We had this pullback and everyone, again, started going, hey, moon time, double bottom or whatever. But, I mean, just look at my previous videos. It's all out there. I then said, no. We have this rising pincer. This is going to fall back down. And my next thing was what I said, we'll see a move down to anywhere between 30 to 32. Okay, so this band is basically, oh God, I'm making a mess here. Anywhere between 30 to 32 is where I was expecting to move down, and then we'd have a bit of a bounce. Well, what's happened? We literally plummeted straight back down to $31,000 and then bounced. So I'm in the slightly awkward position right now because I was all in cash, and looking at my Binance, 1 second. Yeah, only half of my orders got filled. So I've still got, half got filled. So fortunately, I'm back in Polkadot, Cardano, VeChain, Gas, Aave, Filecoin, Hard, etc. But the ones that didn't get filled, which are rather frustrating, are, come on. So I'm just Binance, Comp, Coty, there's a bunch, but my big positions got filled. So I'm actually waiting for another re-entry for some of my positions like Binance. Unfortunately, I put an entry, like for Binance, I put an entry buy order at 281 down here. And the reason being is that I was seeing this rising compression in a falling market across the whole board. So if we, Link is the best example of this. So this was textbook. So we had this rising compression in a falling market, and what happens with the rising compression in a falling market is that you see a move back to the base of the structure. Where's the base of the structure? This bit here. So somewhere around here. Here's the base of the structure, and you have a high probability that you see a retesting of the base structure. So this level here. So we had a textbook breakout, and it's still breaking out. To be honest, a lot of the alts still haven't finished falling. I don't think. And if you look at pretty much anything, so again, we had rising compression, falling market, ADA then busted through, but it then bounced off its base trend line. So this is where I got in. I got in beautifully at about $1.40 down here on that spike down. And the same with, if we take Aave, same things. Sorry, I was using my mouse. Why am I using my mouse when I got my pen here? Again, we had this rising compression in a falling market. It busted out. Again, what we're seeing right now is another mini compression, another rising compression. So I don't think we've seen the end of falling with some of these. If we have a look at Binance, yeah, again, same compression. We've got the breakout. And it's the same sort of shizzle across the board. Although Bitcoin looks a bit different. Let's just clear some of these lines. It's just getting a mess. Yeah, so we've had something like this, obviously, and so we're smashing into really big level of resistance at the moment. So I will be surprised if we, or not surprised actually. Yeah, we could punch through this, but yeah, there's a confluence of resistance at the moment, which is basically around this area. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen right now. There's not enough. Bitcoin's not telling us enough. If we were to draw this a bit more accurately, I guess that is the line there. And then if we're going to draw something like this, yeah, look at that. So this is a more accurate representation. This, in my opinion, it could be a Kobo. A Kobo is kiss off, bugger off. So you always see a pullback to retest resistance before buggering off. So I wouldn't get your hopes up, folks. I know everyone's going moon on the internet, but again, just looking at Ether, let's just get rid of all the clutter on Ether. Let's draw some more accurate lines. So it's looking like this. We've got this sort of top over here. So we had the breakout from the apex. That's great. But look what's happening here. We've got another rising compression in a falling market, folks. This is like nothing. This is all I do. Like I'm a trader, and I've got basically a handful of different strategies that I use. And one of the things that has probably made me the most, well, there's two strategies that made me the most money. My Halo strategy and a rising compression in a falling market. It's like textbook. So I could be wrong, obviously, but like I see 2,300, the next high prob target for Ethereum. Although Bitcoin looks more bullish at the moment, but yeah, a lot of the alts are looking still weak. Let's have a look at some others. Yeah, same sort of picture. So if you look at Ether, a lot of ERC20 tokens will look the same. I know IOTA is not, it's its own thing, but a lot of the market is looking identical. So, I mean, IOTA and Ether looking identical, looking very bearish. Kusama, well, it's completely different. That, yeah, that's good, actually. I'm in Kusama. What's Nano doing? Yeah, same thing. This is looking weak. Whoa, god damn. Look at, so Nano is looking really weak. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a plop down today. Look at that. It's already in the apex and it's looking weak. Come on. 6.5 for Nano. Faux show, mofo. Yeah, there's a... I'm not allowed to talk about Tesla, but there's a bit of a chuckle there. Yeah, so that's just my general thoughts across the market in terms of... Yeah, I still see things being squeezed. I mean, just look at Monero. It is just, that is a Kobo if I ever saw one. Kiss off, bugger off. Back down here. That's what I'm. Or wait, there's a difference between hoping and anticipating. So I'm hoping we have another fall down. I hope that happens. What am I anticipating? Yeah, I am actually anticipating further falling in the alts. Yeah, but I've got less conviction than I did when I said 30, 34 and then 32 to 30. Slightly less conviction. It all depends on what Bitcoin does. It's still the granddaddy, folks. This is the granddaddy. So here's what you all need to be looking at. If we see a rejection from $38,000, or it could fake out a bit, so it could go all the way up to sort of 39.40. But if we then have a rejection of this area, who's calling me? I have no idea. If we have a rejection in this area and we start seeing a bit of a move back down here, watch the alts shit themselves. Alts will just plummet. So, yeah, they're my thoughts. Right, let's stop sharing the screen. I have no idea what questions are being asked. Jesus, 105 of you. Nice. Oh my god, was I not sharing the screen? Oh dear lord. Wait a minute, was I not sharing the screen? All of that, and oh my god. How long have I been talking? I am such a doofus. Right, all I can do is issue a massive apology for wasting all of your time. There is I don't know how long I wasn't sharing my screen for, 10 minutes plus, right. I don't know how I can pay you back, but I will go through all of this again. Oh, what a freaking knob. So sorry, that's me, as in me. No one saw any of it. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I've just wasted all your time. I'm really anal about time, and I get royally pissed off when my time is being wasted. So, I'm so sorry. Right, I'm going to recap all of that. Shit. What was the last? I'm so sorry. I don't know where I started. I sort of went off on one. I will now share my screen. The fact that there's still 103 of you here is, I thank you. So, thank you. Yeah, that's probably why people are calling. My phone was blowing up. Everyone kept calling me. I was like, go away. I'm on a live stream here. Right, okay. Mate. So I've only just seen your... Steve. Yeah, I've just... balls. Okay, let's do this. Share screen. Let's not do this again. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Woohoo. Okay. So, I guess I'll just go back to me charting. Right. What was I going to say? Hopefully you can remember some of the stuff I was saying. I do not even remember the things I was saying, let alone... right. I guess I was just in free flow here. So, one last check of the comments. It's them posters messing. Right, I'll start again. Okay, let's do this. 3, 2, 1. We are definitely sharing screen, and we're going. Right, Bitcoin. This is going to be abbreviated, I guess. So, this is Bitcoin, and this is the chart of Bitcoin. My mind's gone blank. Right, okay. We've got a big old overextended candle on the daily chart. Big overextended candles always have a pullback, at least a 50% pullback. So the 4-hour chart here. So what I was saying earlier is when Bitcoin was around sort of $40,000 to $39,000, and I put out that post everywhere. Actually, I don't normally share my moves on Facebook in the public. I share everything like in my Telegram. So in terms of the realistic trader, I share. Oh no, yeah, everything in this Telegram and in my groups, etc. And along somewhere around here, I was basically saying, yeah, we'd see a move to 34. And guess what happened? We saw that move back down to 34 on the dot. It bounced. I said we'd have a mini bounce at 34, and then everyone started sort of getting a bit scared that, oh my God, Simon, I thought you said 30 was, the next target. And I was like, yeah, it is. This is just the mini bounce. And it was this rising compression in a falling market. This sort of pincer movement here is what played out. And again, when you have this sort of pincer movement, you have a high probability of the market hitting base structure. So the base structure of this pincer, or this rising compression in a falling market, is with this 34. So I said we hit $34,000 again, and then also most likely, if again another post which I said we'd hit anywhere between 30,000 to 32. This is where the support was a bit fuzzy. There was a huge support level at 30, but there's also other points back in the past where 32. So I said anywhere between 32 to 30 is where we'd have a bounce, and we hit 30 on the dot, literally to the penny, and then it rallied. But I don't think it's game over yet. I think we got another further falling. So if we just clear these doodles, whoops, don't lock. Doodles, delete. So if we just get rid of this, here we go. So if we just draw this, something like this, and something like this. So we've got a fair bit of resistance here. We have this big old sort of level of resistance at around, or from sort of 37 and a bit where we are now to sort of 39 really. And so if, as I was saying, if we get rejection around sort of 39 and we start heading back down here, alts are going to alts are going to sell off big time. Remember, alts always exaggerate moves, but the interesting thing here is that we're having a bit of a divergence. So we're having strong Bitcoin rallying, but not strong alt rallying. So if we look at, let's just start from the top, Aave. Across the board, so you now get to see all of the doodles I was doodling. We're seeing, rising compression, falling market, whereas base structure is around here. So, and what's happening is that even though Bitcoin has rallied hard, what has Aave done? Which is just a generic high, big cap alt. It's only done this. All it's done is this Bitcoin rally has forced all of the alts into a bit of a rising compression in a falling market, which is, again, is like the easiest thing I do. I teach everyone this, but people don't execute it. I don't know why. So where's the next base structure for this mini compression here? 300 for Aave. If we look at ADA is doing the same thing. Compression, breakout. The thing with ADA, though, is that it had this big support baseline here. And so this is why, looking at ADA, I got in at 30, so $1.40, something like that. It's bounced. However, it is not game over, because guess what we have, folks? We have a rising compression in a falling market. So I still think we probably have another stab at 145. Looking at, not bad, it's Binance. Again, another rising, bloody mouse. A rising compression, falling market. We should see another move back down here. Other big ones, Coty, I quite like. Same, everything looks the same. Everything looks the same. No one gives a shit about Doge, or he shouldn't really give a shit because it's a shit coin. Again, look at Polkadot. Rising compression, falling market. We should see another fall down. We should. By the way, all of these moves down is all reliant on Bitcoin being rejected at between here and 39,000. It needs to be rejected. If it doesn't get rejected, we don't see all of these breakdowns. If anything, we see not necessarily mooning, probably a bit more consolidation. But this is the thing. I'm looking for this rejection here, and then we'll start seeing a sell-off. EOS, I know a lot of people look at EOS. I don't own much of EOS. Where the hell is EOS gone? Same picture. Whoopsie. It's all doing the same picture. Rising compressions a lot across the board. Ether's just looking weak, as I said here. We should see another move down to 2267-ish, 2280. Filecoin, yeah, weak. Everything's weak. I mean, just look at this. Filecoin's looking very weak. So this trend line. So remember, support and resistance is interchangeable. So this support, which it busted through, is now Koboing, so kissing off before buggering off. This just looks really weak. Everything's just weak. I love it. I want another buying opportunity because I still haven't finished. Hot is, again, there's no point in me going through this whole list because it all looks the same. Look, IOTA and Hot, two completely different things, projects, same picture. Everything is going to be looking the same other than Kusama. Kusama just looks strong for some reason. Link, so Chainlink, again, where's base structure for this big compression? It's down here at $16. And we've got another rising thing. So what I'm saying basically is all of Twitter and YouTube, and now from what I've seen, is going, "Hey, we're back to the moon." I don't think so, folks. I don't think so. We just got a fair bit more falling. Solana and Kusama look very strong at the moment. They don't look like they're about to fall, which is annoying because I don't think I've been filled with my soul. Let's have a look. Soul not filled. God damn it. That's annoying. But yeah. Yeah, VeChain looking very weak. I mean, look how weak that is. Anyway, so that, I think, just, without over emphasizing the point here, I think you've got the gist of what I'm on about. You just need to go back to Bitcoin and have a look at, and this could just be a Kobo. Kiss off. It's broken out. It's coming back to kiss it off before buggering off. That is my 2 pennies. Also, don't forget the weekly chart. A lot of people ignore the weekly chart when they shouldn't. Now, weekly chart looks bullish actually, and normally the higher time frame, the more reliable. We got a bit of a low test on the weekly chart, and we got an overextension here. These 2 weeks of falling. We normally have a 50% pullback, so that's a pullback to sort of $44-ish, $45,000 ish. We didn't get that, so yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on that. But for now, I guess half my portfolio is back in, half is on the sidelines waiting for low bits. But don't forget, if this does consolidate for a while, it gets actually a bit bearish, because if the market goes sideways for the next month or so, this is then forming out to be a textbook bearish rectangle, and then we could see a move back down to 20. Probability of that, too early to tell. Remember, trading is like the weather forecast. Not even the world's best meteorologist can tell you if it's going to be raining this time next year. No one knows that. But meteorology is very good, sort of 1 to 5 days out. Very good, very accurate. Simply because they see the cloud formations, they see where they're tracking, if it's gaining, if it's dissipating, etc. And so they can accurately forecast, the next 5 days of rain or whatever. Trading is technical analysis with trading is the same thing. So just like the last couple of weeks, I said it was extremely high chance of rainfall at $34,000, and it happened. So, but at the moment, so. And I'll always tell the truth, and I will tell you when I'm not sure. And at the moment, all bets are off until I see what happens with this key level between sort of 38 to 40. I have no idea what will happen, but what I do know is that if we start getting even a whiff of rejection around 38, 40, we're going to see the alts sell off, and then I'm going to basically fill up. But yeah, right, let's get out of the charts and get back into the stream. Stop sharing. Here we go. Here's my face. Hey. Right. Right, I'm going to scroll up because I missed a whole bunch of questions. Cool. Wiz3006. Thanks for your comments, mate. Much appreciated. And everyone else that is here. Facebook, you should hire a gardener for the grass. I'm sure they're available at a good rate. Lol. Okay, so all of that was an answer to the question by a Facebook user. I don't know his name or her name. Yellow LED Butter. How do you pick an entry price for an altcoin based on TA of Bitcoin when price is dumping? Yeah, good question. Share screen. Not going to make that mistake again. So you then go to the individual chart. So, for example, if you're looking at Binance, if Bitcoin then gets rejected off these levels, as I said, and we then jump into Binance, you then have to let's get rid of these lines. You then have to look at what's then sensible on Binance. So, for example, here, if I was to just draw these lines again, 1 second. So that's the baseline. I guess you then look at where the support is. So I guess looking at Binance here, there's a big level of support at 280. So not only has it been resistance around here back in February 2021, big resistance, and then support, it's going to be big support now. So there is a line. Yeah, so that is there. So looking at the entry, in fact, I'm looking at my Binance app right now. I don't know if you can see this. My entry is at 281. So I've put my entry just above this level here. Again, when you're putting like entry buy orders in, don't put it on a round number. So I've put mine at 281.26, just a random number, just in front, because you want it to be here. So yeah, so that's that. If you just pick, I'm just going to pick a random one. Ontology, here we go. Whoo, this looks weak. Ontology looks weak. So same shizzle. So if Bitcoin gets rejected, like it most likely will, in my opinion, you got the compression here. It's broken out. We've got a weird Kobo here. In fact, if we zoom in, we've got this lovely, absolutely textbook rising compression, falling market. So the easy sort of target is sort of 87 cents. 87. I mean, you could be greedy and try and put one down here, but I think the safe bet is to put an entry order around here, as in around 85 cents. So that's basically how you do it. You look at each one on an individual basis. So was this synthetic? Yeah. This again, a lot of the alts just look weak, very weak. Uniswap, again, same shizzle. So hopefully that makes sense. Come on, VidT, wake up. Yeah, right. Stop sharing. Next question. I think I've gone off on crypto long enough. What is your view on IDOs? Which launchpad do you use? I don't. It's too much risk with IDOs because they're just brand new projects. I put like all my portfolio. I haven't got a single crypto that is below page 6 of CoinMarketCap. There. So yeah, that's it. In fact, that's a lie. I've got Kishu Uno, which is like a shitcoin, and I've got SHIB. That's a shitcoin. But yeah. But everything is no more than page 6 on CoinMarketCap, which means the lowest market cap coin I have, other than the hype punts, is... Where is it? Hell, I don't even think I've got anything on page 6. No, I don't. I wouldn't like to go beyond page 6. Oh, I've got TrueFi. So yeah, so really the lowest market cap coin I have is a $40 million market cap. So it's got, some weight behind it as opposed to, something launching straight away. So Polkadex, yes, I do want Polkadex. That is, so this is like the decentralized exchange for Polkadot, and I'm always a big fan of buying existing ecosystems. So the reason why Uniswap went big was because Ethereum obviously had huge traction and went nuts. And so what's likely to get big? Polkadot's likely to get big. Cardano's likely to get big. So buy the coins that are in the Polkadot ecosystem, or the Kusama ecosystem, or the Cardano ecosystem. And so the DEX for Polkadot is called Polka PDEX. So this is something I don't have, but I'm looking to get into it. Where do I find it? KuCoin. Ah, shit. I hate KuCoin. I can get it on Uniswap with a wrapped ether. But yeah, KuCoin. So let's have a look at the tokenomics. Max supply, 20 million. Okay. Really low supply. What's out there at the moment? 1.9 mil. Interesting. So it's a very low supply, which is good. So that's why it's got a relatively high price. Market cap's doing this. Yeah, I quite like it. Let's have a look at PDEX on TradingView. Share screen. Whoops. PDEX. Let's have a look at PDEX. So this is what I was looking at. PDEX. Again, if you ever want to find out what market something's on, just go to CoinMarketCap, find it, whatever coin you're looking at. So here, in fact, I clicked on PDEX, Polkadot, PDEX here, market. Some KuCoin, yeah, max supply 20 million, really low. So let's have a look at it on the charts. There's PDEX here. Sometimes you don't get them on. Here we go. Yeah. So this is a new one. It launched in April. You haven't missed the boat. I need to add that to my list. God damn it, I don't want to buy anymore. I've got too many cryptos at the moment. So yeah, that's that. Right, let's stop sharing. What's still Matthew, with the modern age, it seems it's easier to censor people these days with social media and the mainstream media. Yeah, it is. I know. It's sad. Yeah, it really is sad. I think Sacha Baron Cohen put out a really good tweet. He said, "We don't let one person control the water supply for 2 billion people. We don't let one person control the internet for 2 billion people. We don't, blah, blah, blah." And then, and so we shouldn't let one person control the information dissemination for 2 billion people. And that's what Facebook is. You've got Zucks basically letting you see what he wants you to see. So think of yourself outrageous. Phil, have you ever heard of anyone actual hitting the jackpot when mining, or is it not really worth it for the general public to mine, considering the electricity cost? Yeah, for the average Joe, I don't think mining is a worthwhile thing. Not unless you have something like a 10-year outlook, because you're going to bleed electricity fees. And so you just got to hope that whatever you mine moons in price, basically. So that's that. And you because of the difficulty rate and the hash rate always going up, you need a good mining rig. You really do. So yeah, that's why I've never done it. I prefer to take all of that money and just put it into a crypto and hodl. It's just much easier. Right. Alexander, question: will Bitcoin death cross have much, little, or non-influence on the alt market prices? Oh, this bloody death cross. Why can't everyone's going on about this bloody death cross? Okay, let's look at the death cross. Ugh. Bloody Twitter, over-exaggerating friggin' everything. Okay, so what everyone means by death cross, or the golden cross, which is the other way around, is simply a moving average crossover. That is it. So what a lot of people do is they're looking at the 200 and the 50 EMA. So or simple moving average, it doesn't really matter. So let's just put in, I prefer EMA. EMA in the game. Moving average exponential. Let's pop one of them in. Pop. Where's he gone? Why? Oh, he's here. Where's the legend? Sorry, normally I could... never mind. So let's just edit this. Settings, I would like it the 200. Let's make it big and fat and black so we can all see it. Big, fat, black. 200 EMA. Let's have another one. Indicator EMA. There we go. Let's make that the 50. Let's change color. I don't know. Whoopsie, what's going on here? Come on. Sorry. I don't normally use... Why is this? I want to change this. Here we go. Style. We need this to 50. What color shall we have it? Red. Let's make it dark red. Burgundy. There we go. Okie dokie. Right. So, what everyone on the internet or Twitter is talking about this bloody death cross is a simple moving average crossover system. Now, in trading, there are millions of different moving average crossover systems, and So, what's happening is that if you zoom out, so this is Bitcoin, don't forget, I am sharing the screen, good. So what they're saying is that every single time the 50 EMA crosses over the 200 EMA is game over. So here in 2017, we had the crossover here in April 2018, and then what happened, Bitcoin went from $7,000, it actually went up, and then it just consolidated for a bit, and then eventually popped down to 3,000 something, okay? So that's what everyone's on about. Oh, it's the death cross, downward falling. So, but not necessarily. It halved from here. So sort of 6,000 down, 7,000 down to 3. Okay. And then the golden cross is the opposite, where you have the cross to the upside. So you had the cross over here. Sorry, I've got really bad hay fever, so I'm going to have to blow my nose. So sorry. Hay fever is horrendous, especially when cutting grass. So, hay fever, not COVID. So what was it? 5.5 over here, and then went wee. But then we had another cross over here, another death cross. Did we see much falling? Actually, yeah, we did a little bit. But the thing is, when the market gets into sort of the choppy zone, you will have multiple crossovers. So it's like, right, we have the crossover here. So this is where it can hurt you. So let's say it's 7,000. You go, right, sell, 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 sell. Ah, shit. It then zooms up to 10,000. And you're like, whoa, the death cross is supposed to go down. Okay, we've got cross to the upside. We've got the golden cross now. Let's go long. What is it? 10,000. What happens? Ah, shit, you go mega long. And then it drops to 4,000. Wait a minute. That's not good. Okay, here's another death cross to the downside. Right, it's 5,200. We're going to see further lows. Let's sell, 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 or short it. Ah, shit. It's gone from 5,000 all the way up to 10,000 again. You're like, oh, okay, here's the golden cross. Let's go long, 9,000. And then eventually you'll get it right. But by then you would have lost your life savings if, you're an emotional Twitter dabbler like everyone is. So you've got to be careful with all these little things. So now what everyone's going is, oh, we got a death cross over here. I do not give a shit about this death cross, which is a moving average crossover system. Like, fundamentals are the things that drive crypto. All the things I spent the first 20 minutes talking about crypto is what drives crypto. Everything else is short-term noise. So yeah, we may have a crossover. It may cross over, but I think if anything, if it does cross over, you should use it as a contrarian indicator and then go gig along. So yeah, they're my 2 cents. Stop sharing. Questions, right? Mark, they're only not risky if you play the long game, though. Worth saying that. Yeah, if you play the long game, yeah, minimal risk. Everything goes up in the long run. In fact, literally anything. Simply because the currency supply is always going up, so everything will always go up. But then it's all about yield and return on time invested and return on capital invested. Sam, we dollar cost average or pound cost average into Bitcoin or something else as a regular payment? Yeah, definitely. Lily says hi. Hi, Lily. Querty Burr. You need to look at CBBI, which consolidates all the charts for Bitcoin and judges where we are in regards to a top. Okay, let's have a look at CBBI. Right, CBBI. I don't really like to have things like Nah, don't like it. I don't even think this is related, is it? No, I prefer just sticking to the basics and looking at Bitcoin and then looking at the individual market itself. You get much more fidelity and resolution in your analysis than looking at like a tracker. It's like looking at the FTSE 100 and go, oh, FTSE 100 looks good, go long, but then individual companies in the FTSE could be massively failing. So, nah, I disagree. So, Joe Baschetti. Simon, I want to invest and buy crypto, but where is a safe place to start and buy? Okay, so the first thing that I would highly recommend is you go to YouTube, type in Siam Kid, click my face, playlists, find the crypto playlist, and scroll right to the bottom. In fact, this is a whole investing course on crypto, just here for free. There's like 60 plus videos. But if you want to save yourself some time, treat this like a little 2-hour movie. Crypto tutorial for absolute beginners 2021. I go through everything in this. So I'm going to share this. Copy. Let's pop this in the chat. There. But simply just go to... just open up an account with Binance, send some fiat currency, some pounds or dollars, wherever you are, over to Binance, buy some crypto using the Kryptonian portfolio. That will look after you. Right. I think I may just keep the screen shared instead of flipping back and forth. You can still... Yeah, I'll just do that. Right, let's go back to the questions. Lily, Qwerty Burr, Clayton, hey Flash. Can I talk about borrowing against crypto? I want to keep my coins but leverage fiat. I'm not sure the best way to do it. Yeah, I spoke about this already in quite detail on, if we go in one of the previous wealth generation chats. In fact, it was probably the last one I did. I went into crypto loans, so I won't go into that. But yeah, it's there. Just check out my stuff. Flash. So Mark Clayton, hey mate. Then why only 32 companies are on it if it's really going to rally, as you say? Yeah, so these big companies, these massive corporates, so these FTSE 100, 250 companies, S&P 500 companies, they take ages to get shit going. So when you look at MicroStrategies, Michael Saylor, it took him a year to really get going. He was like, right, I want to buy Bitcoin through the company. It took him a year to really start buying his 90,000 Bitcoin. Because when you're a publicly listed company, you have all sorts of stuff you have to go through. You have to have all sorts of policies and documents, and it's always a compliance thing. So, and then you need shareholder agreement, board of director agreement. There's so many people that have to say yes. But just watch this space. Just watch this space. I mean, it's just like going back to 2017 when there were like 1,000 projects, and I said, look, give it a few years, there's going to be thousands and thousands of projects. And look where we are now. We've got 10,000 projects out there, and it's growing. Remember, this is like the internet. It's like when the internet first started, there were only a handful of websites, and then post, tech bubble pop, what happened? We had an explosion amount of websites out there. And that's a good way to look at Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, and Solana. It is like brand new land that's being discovered. And then people are racing to that land to build really big skyscrapers. And so I'd much prefer to own the land. And then if there are any skyscrapers that do really well, guess what? The land is going to go up in price as well. So, let's say Cardano is like, or you can look at them like WordPress. WordPress is there, and then you can build some really cool websites. So, for example, let's take Cardano. It's, the overall infrastructure, it's going to be the future, I really think. Let's say someone creates the next $1 trillion business that's based on Cardano. Well, what do you think the price of ADA is going to do? It's going to go up with it. So, yeah. So that's that. Ian is expanding from his first question. To expand, how do you price your interest rate for a loan versus reward potential versus short-term risk? I see what you mean. So I do not do it via the academic way. So I'm sure you could find someone that's done some form of, economics degree, and they'll go, what is your, risk return rate, all that sort of stuff. I don't. I like to do win-wins. So for example, when I'm borrowing money, I need it to be a win, and I'm happy for it for me. So cool. And then I need it to be a win for the investor. So I'd actually feel guilty borrowing a lot of money at 3%. I really would, because the investor is getting bug return. Because in fact, the investor, whoever lends money at 3%, is actually drowning, because real interest rates or real inflation is a lot higher than 3%. So I borrow it. I think everyone's happy to make 10% ROI. I think that's fair. And I will borrow any amount of money at 10%. And I've got my businesses that will back up, so I can afford, the servicing costs. But for me, I don't bother with loans below 100K. So if you know anyone that has over 100K or more to lend and they want to make 10%, send them my way. I'll take that all day long. So Facebook, if you were to borrow against your crypto, would you choose to deposit Bitcoin, Ether, or something else? So I would actually deposit whatever is going to rally the hardest. So I would deposit Ether. So you need something which is going to be solid, which is going to stay around for a while. So I wouldn't deposit a shitcoin or whatever. So yeah, Ether is a good shout. So I see Ether 10xing from here, easy. In fact, I still see Bitcoin 10xing from where we are now. As I said, I'm expecting $1 million Bitcoin by 2026. So yeah, if you deposit Ether, a 10xing from that is pretty cool. So your LTV, your loan to value, goes down very quickly. I've done this in a bunch of videos now, but what this means is that, let's say your crypto lending platform is over here, you're over here, you deposit, I don't know, 100. Let's just keep it simple. Oh no, 1 ETH. Let's do it 10 ether. So you deposit 10 ether, which was the price of ether. Come on. Scroll. Ether is 255. Let's call it 25. Easy maths. So 25. Oh yeah. So was it 2550? My 2500. Yeah. So it's 25 grand. So you deposit 25 grand's worth of ether basically. And let's say you borrow half. Okay. So you don't want to over egg it. So you're borrowing 50%. So therefore you're borrowing $12,500. Now you can borrow that in Dime, USDC, Tether, even cash, whatever you want. Whatever you do, don't borrow ether. Don't deposit ether to then borrow ether, because let's say you then borrow 5 ether. This is the worst thing that you could do, actually. If you deposit ether and then you borrow 5 ether, you're screwed, because what you owe, the debt is 5 ether. So you still have to pay 5 ether back. And if it 10x's, you still owe 5 ether. So that's what you should not do. You should borrow a stable coin. And then with that, yeah. So right here, your LTV, your loan to value, at the moment is 50%. Now, by the way, you should take that money and then invest it in I don't know, ADA or something which is going to grow faster than ether. So let's say I'm correct, and ether 10x's. Ether goes from $2,500 to $25,000 over time. Well, all of a sudden, your 10 ether is now worth, as in your collateral is now worth $250K. But what is your loan? Your loan is only $12,500 worth of stablecoin. So what happens to your LTV? It goes down. So 12,500, divide that by 250,000 equals 5%. So your LTV drops from 50% down to 5%, and therefore you can your loan in like a fraction of ether. This is basically a self-liquidate, and it's even better if that $12,500 here you put into something else. If that 10x's as well, then you're happy as Larry. So that's the basics of crypto loans. So that's that. David, big long question here. What's your view on Crypto 20, the world's first tokenized crypto index fund by Invictus Capital? Or straight away, I think it's bullshit. Why bother buying a crypto tracker when you can do it yourself? Because you're just going to be paying Invictus Capital fees to manage it for you. Whereas, like, I am my own crypto tracker. I've got like 50 freaking different cryptos. I mean, if I look at my doodle, in fact, I'll show you what I meant, or what, before I exited. So I made a little presentation, crypto re-entry. Here we go. Rebalance, re-enter, yada, yada, yada. So these are all the cryptos I'm in. There's like 10, 20 odd here. And then look at all these crypto. I own the whole market. I am the tracker. Like, admittedly, I've only got like $1,000 in each of these, and $10,000, $11,000 in each of these, and only $24,000 in each of these. But still, I've got the big. I am the tracker fund. You don't need to pay a company to do that for you. Do it yourself. Otherwise, it's just plain laziness. So yeah, just don't do it. Don't do it. If you're gonna be in crypto, do some learning. I mean, hell, look at that link that I put in. Just do it yourself. Trust me on that. Teddy TV, you'll see last Bitcoin being minted. You'll be living in the cloud in 2140. Yeah, mined, not minted. Proof of stake systems, you mint. Proof of work, you're mining. But I get what I will be living in the cloud in 2140. I genuinely think this is probably where half the people here are going to switch off now. I genuinely think I'm going to be digitally immortal. Like, just look at the cadence of tech innovation, and especially the thing, what Elon's doing in Neuralink, etc. In our lifetimes, we will be able to upload our consciousness, or a carbon copy of our mind to the cloud. And then it's a bit like Altered Carbon, that TV series. It's worth watching. But yeah, I'll be in the cloud, zipping from planet to planet at the speed of light. So, Tom, do you think Bitcoin will reach 1 million at the same sort of time the wider tech industry's next wave of innovation is realized? Don't know. Maybe. Quite possibly. I.e. self-driving cars in full operation. Oh, yeah, with microtransactions. Yeah, cashless society, IoT everywhere. Yeah, actually, it's a fair shout. Yeah, like with the Internet of Things or Internet of Everything, you're going to have tens of trillions of devices that need to communicate with each other and do microtransactions with each other. The existing financial system can't do that. So, yeah, that's why I've got IOTA. IOTA's already in the forefront, and it's got Tangle, which is an absolutely mind-blowing tech. It's a type of a DAG, a directed acyclic graph. So it has no scalability issues, no TPS issues, as in transactions per second issues. It's infinite scalability. So Tangle's pretty damn cool. Just like Nano's block lattice DAG. That's pretty cool as well. Andrew, could you look at GBP to show how much has been printed here? Yeah, let's look at UKM2. Trading economics. Max. Here we go. It's just ridiculous. We sat on, what is this? Oh, about just under $3 trillion. Pounds. 3 trillion. Oh my God, go back. 3 trillion pounds. It's not the best chart in the world, but yeah, it's just insane. Wait, I want a better chart. I want a longer. Nah, go back. UK M2 historical chart is what I want. 1986 till now. No, not the same. 1986. Why won't anything show me before 1986? It's like they're covering something up. Let's try this. It's on Trading View. Nah. All 1981. Okay. Slightly better. M2 money stock. Let's try on the proper M2 money stock. Yeah, but what currency is that? UK M2 money stock. Fred, maybe. So let's go to the monthly chart. Let's zoom out to 1981. Yeah, I mean, it's just always up, isn't it? It's not the best looking chart in the world. This looks like it's a different value. This looks like it's about $2 trillion, whereas these other ones, look, what is the value here? Or actual 2.8 trillion pounds. So 2.8 trillion, yeah, it's a different figure here. Let's get rid of that one. I trust this website more than TradingView. And this one, let's have a look at the chart. I don't want the 10-year bar. Is this the rate? Monthly, no, this is confusing because it hasn't gone down; it's only gone up. So this, I'll have to look into this. But yeah, let's look at this. So we're almost in pounds, and then you just look at how long it takes. I mean, let's just do the cadence. So how long has the pound been around? You know, okay, well, in its current form. So obviously it changes, but I don't know. How old is the pound? How old is the pound? I reckon 320 years off the top of my head. 300 years ago. Come on, when did it emerge? It's going to be random dates. Yeah, I wasn't far off. It says 300-ish. I'd have to look into it. So let's just say 300. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at this. So it took... Let's get another doodle out. Where's the US one? Let's draw the UK one quite close. So it took roughly 300 years to go from £0 to 1 trillion pounds. Oopsie. 1 billion. And then how long did it take to get to the next trillion? So from this trillion, which is up till 2004, let's just write that in. So 2004. So then to get the next trillion, I know you probably get the point here, but I want to really ram this point home because a lot of people don't understand this. Then 2010. Okay, here we go. So 2010 starting to ramp up. So it's then 6 years to then get the next £1 trillion. Then how long is it going to take to get to the next £1 trillion? Well, 2010 to probably this year. Very close to this year, especially if you look at the rate that it's being printed. Last time I checked, the pound was inflating at about £5,200 a second. Pound debt clock. UK debt clock will show you. UK debt clock. So that's okay. Sorry, clarification. National debt grows about 5,200 a second. No, world debt clock. World debt clock. Then look at the UK. It'll be in this little tab in the top. Oh no, over here. No. Okay, it's not showing us a currency supply, but you can see the amount of debt growing. But yeah. So here, the UK looks like it's been a bit restrained. 10 years to go from get the next trillion. So it's not as bad as the US. Japan is even worse, and loads of other big countries are just the same. But either way, we're getting huge amounts of printing across the board. So you just got to harbour your wealth in something with a finite currency, finite supply. Sorry. What's the next question? God, I'm only I'm gonna have to speed up my answers. I'm so sorry. From now on, I'm speeding up my answers. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. Vin, you've mentioned before that the UK is going the same way as Japan. Can you elaborate a little on this statement? Yeah, the fact that Japan has printed its way into oblivion and it hasn't recovered, and it still hasn't recovered. If you look at the Nikkei. Just zoom out. Oh, won't show me. Bloody trading view. Never has the full depth. So Nikkei historic history chart. Why not? Historic chart is what I meant to put in. 1965 till now. Here we go. All. So basically, Japan back here in 1989, 1990 was booming in every way. Property, stock market booming, everything was great. But it entered a bit of a stagflationary crash or depression, and it dipped. And for the best part of 30 odd years, it didn't recover. And it's only with the recent financial stimulus, which is, I mean, they're pumping like nuts to try and reinflate this. But the Nikkei is still nowhere near its all-time high. Same with the property market. And we're at risk of going in the same way, the way that, the amount that we're printing. It's just, it's game over. This is why I'm so strong on crypto. What are the real world consequences of $6 trillion additional dollars being created? Real world stuff it's called the Cantillon effect, which is, so what happens is if I am the Federal Reserve or the Bank of England and I just pluck $6 trillion out of my ass, I can go and spend that $6 trillion on anything I want at current market prices, which is great for me. But the second my $6 trillion enters the economy, it's then going to prices. You have to imagine price as a big sponge. It absorbs any currency out there. So prices of stuff then go up. So it's called the Cantillon effect. So basically, prices for stuff will go up. Or they may stay the same price, but you're getting less of it. The Freddo chocolate bar is like 35, 40p these days. It's ridiculous. It used to be 10p when I was young. So yeah, your pound is just not going to buy you as much. It's like, I say this all the time, it's like holding your wealth in ice cubes in the Sahara Desert. It's just going to melt away. Facebook user says, we have a robotic mower and it works a treat even on complex lawns. We have put climbing frames in now and it just works around them. Nice. Awesome. Jay Boner, or Bowner. Hi, Simon. Thoroughly enjoy your perspective of things. Always something to take away. Oh, thanks, mate. Sam, when is Polkadot going to moon? Though it hasn't moved much. Yeah, stop being too noise fixated. Just wait. End of this year. Just basically, everyone's got to chill the hell out until December. Come back in December and then say, look, Sam, you're either really right or really wrong. But we're just in a bit of a dip at the moment. Just wait. Just wait. Everyone's then saying, not sharing the screen. Oh, so sorry. Robo-mowers and dogs are not a good mix. Okay. We'll have to, hopefully Pips will stay away from it. Sorry, I'm just trying to skip through the not sharing screen comments. Sorry, my fault. Have you had a look at Hyperfund? No, I haven't. Probably okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to find any questions. Right, I think actually we're going to have to call it a day. There's, So Wiz said, "What do you mean rejected?" So when I was looking at price, okay, that's a good question. So when I say being rejected, what I mean is that the price at the moment, as you can see, is zooming up to sort of $38,000, maybe 39, 40. If it gets here and then sharply gets bounced off this level, that's what I call a rejection. Just like here, if we were to really zoom in, the market here zoomed up to $39,000, and within the space of a day, just got bounced off here. So if we see a move like this, up to 39, then bounce off, that's what I call a rejection off the $39,000 level. Let's get rid of these silly EMAs. Delete, and delete. There we go. I like a virgin naked chart. Right. Should we? Yes, Lucid Chronicles, you're spot on. Yep. Kusama's going up because of the parachain auctions. Yes, I forgot about that. Right. Okay. I think that is it. Quoty Bertie, your chats keep getting deleted. I don't think they are. I'm not deleting anything. I only delete abuse, but you've been following. You've been on these for a while. I don't delete your comments, mate. Okay, another quick question. Gianni Sayin said, if Bitcoin will become a threat for the US dollar, will the central banks try to take it down? That's what they've been doing for years. Everyone's been saying, "Oh, Bitcoin's banned here. China's banning it. India's banning it every 10 minutes." You can't do it. It's like banning the internet. You can't ban the internet. And if any country that does ban Bitcoin, they're shooting themselves in the foot because people leave. People will just bugger off and move to a country that accepts it. Like El Salvador. Hats off to you, El Salvador. I'd quite like to move to you because they've just made Bitcoin legal tender, which means there's no capital gains tax. So what do you think is going to happen if someone is sat on $10 million worth of profits or $100 million worth of profits? They're going to move to El Salvador and not pay any capital gains tax. So, yeah, you can't take it down. And what's happening is that the central banks are creating their own cryptos, which I said in my book, and it's now happening, called CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. And it's basically just a crypto version of their shitcoins. It's just the crypto version of the pound, crypto version of the dollar. It's still a shitcoin. And what is a shitcoin? Like, if you a shitcoin, a good way to identify a shitcoin is look at the max supply. Oh, it's got an unlimited max supply. Okay, what is the supply coming onto the market? Oh, okay, they're just printing it out their ass. Great. How many nodes are there? Oh, one node. The central bank is the node. Oh, wow. Okay, shitcoin. So yeah, Shin, how to join a Telegram group? Yeah, you just have to go to the Realistic Trader and join our community. So realistictrader.com. RT community, and then I share everything with my students in here. So that's that. Oh, where's the questions? Was trying to share where to view the CBBI. If anyone's interested, Google CBBI. It's on the Colin Talks crypto site. No worries, it ain't my website. Just cool. Option on Matic, please. Opinion on Matic. I have no opinion on Matic. It's part of my portfolio because I own everything. I want to own everything because I'm not clever enough to individually pick massive mooners. I mean, some, like I've got my balls on the line. I got, what was I saying? I can't remember. But I've got a big punt on gas. Big punt on gas. I'll be a very rich person if gas plays out. Because I'm looking at gas against Bitcoin. And look how undervalued gas is against Bitcoin. God damn. Like I said, like I got into gas against Bitcoin way down here. And gas at $1.74. Obviously, then it then went to 24. It's come back down to 8, but I'm still in it because if gas gets all, like if you look at gas, if it gets sort of even up to 0.04, the 0.004 level, that's like crazy territory. I'll be very, very happy. So yeah, I just buy everything. In terms of Matic, in terms of the charts, may as well have a look. Yeah, it's mooned a lot. It's looking weak at the moment. If anything, this could come all the way back down to $1.05. What's it like on the 4-hour chart? Yeah, look at this. Looks like it's playing out in real time, folks. You remember how I've looked at all these rising compressions in a falling market? Well, this one's already breaking out. So yeah, we've got further fall into 130 at least. But then looking at it on the bigger picture, on the daily chart, sorry. Yeah, probably one. Yeah, the neckline for this, I mean, it'll create a massive double top if it gets down to 107. That's a massive double top. Yeah, further falling. I can't really say where. Where is the base trend line? If we were to draw the base trend line, it's something like this. So yeah, it's actually just got through the base trend line. So yeah, we've got further falling. I wouldn't be surprised seeing. In fact, the next big real sort of support is around $1. So yeah, Matic to $1. That's my opinion, obviously. Could be wrong. Sometimes I am. Which platforms can you use to deposit crypto to get your loans? There's loads sprouting out there. Whatever you do it. Don't do it for a centralized one. There's loads of companies saying, "Oh, we do crypto loans." Don't touch them with a barge pole. Do ones which are decentralized. So Aave is the best one that I found so far. It's the biggest as well. Well, one of the biggest. Sorry. Cool. Right. Yellow LED butter or yellow lead butter. How do we sell gas? You can't trade withdrawn back. Yeah, you can. You trade gas versus Bitcoin. You exit into Bitcoin. That's how you sell the gas. So Gianni said, "Thank you for the answer. The problem is I don't think the government will ever allow for anarchy. What I mean though is that them not having control to regulate country economy. Yeah. So this is what I mean about the central CBDC, the central bank digital currency. So when say crypto pound comes out or Britcoin or whatever, what they'll then do is a slow campaign or actually a fast campaign to get rid of cash. So we'll very quickly go to a cashless society. It's already happening. There's so many shops saying we don't accept cash. But mainly for those shops, it's because they're like, because cash transmits COVID. Oh my God. Yeah, I call massive bullshit on that. If people are really actually worried about COVID transmissions from touching things, they would like shut down Tesco's and all the supermarkets and the checkouts and the bloody order screens that you have in McDonald's and like, yeah. Anyway, so going back to this, yeah. So once we're in a cashless society, they then have full control. They'll then see whether if you're sending money to Binance or whatever, they'll tax you probably at source instead of post source. But yeah, that is the way that they will own us, by cashless society, and we have to use Bitcoin, and then they see everything. I looked on Binance. There's no option to trade it. Yeah, there is. It's gas against Bitcoin. So go to CoinMarketCap. if you type in gas, it's Neo Gas, it's this one here. Go to market, go to Binance, gas Bitcoin. Depth 77 million, yeah. 77 million's worth of daily volume, or depth actually. So 24-hour volume, 15 million, yeah. But this is where it's at, mate. Most of the volume's on Huobi with gas ether, but yeah, it's on Binance, gas Bitcoin. Right. Bobby Gill, send me your infected cash to sanitize. Yeah. If you send me back Bitcoin, yeah, sure. Right, I think that's it. An hour and a half, I think, is long enough for one of these live sessions. These live sessions are only supposed to be like half an hour long. But I hope it's helped. What is the breakdown? There's 35-ish on Facebook around the board. Because yeah, this software is cool. This is streaming to my Facebook profile, the WAP group, the Wealth Action Plan page, the RT page, and then on YouTube. So thanks, folks. When is the next one? Well, I think it will have to be, looking at my calendar, which I'm looking at on the other screen. It's my son's birthday this weekend and Tuesday. Well, he's having a birthday weekend with all sorts of parties and stuff, and then another thing on Tuesday. So yeah, screw it. I'll have a shorter one than this on Monday. So Monday 14th, 12 o'clock, I'll have another live session. So I bid you farewell. I hope. Has this helped? Has today helped at all? Sorry about the kerfuffle with the sharing, but I just hope it's helped. I really do. So yeah, have a great weekend. In fact, what day is it today? Thursday. Okay. Yeah, have a good weekend when it comes, and I'll see you soon. Toodles. Bye.